So we're looking at the Atlanta Falcons. This is a team that was in rebuild foes or rebuilding phase. Definitely was testing the waters as to Desmond Ritter. Was he the answer? Was he going to lead this team to the promised land, kind of thing? Um, definitely, definitely, it was a tough year for him. Not as bad, just because they did win some games, but they definitely got some answers figured out. Desmond Ritter is definitely not going to be their quarterback. They signed some great guys. They upgraded their roster by a lot, and this is a team that did so many upgrades and was able to get some draft picks that honestly, this is this can be honestly a playoff team. So they've done enough to really become that, and I think they should be proud of that. They were 7-10 last year, 5-3 at home, 2-7 away, 3-3 division, 321 points they scored, 373 they gave. 22nd in passing yards with 207.3, ninth in rushing with 127, 26th in points for with 18.9, and 18th in points against with 21.9. Let's take a look at the depth chart. So, Atlanta. We start with offense. Three wide receiver, one tight end set. Left tackle, Jake Matthews, number 10 on the left tackle list. Pretty good, pretty veteran leadership kind of guy. I think they'll definitely be um, leaning towards him to step up and continuously get better, giving up less sacks, less penalties for sure. But he is a pretty solid choice. Left guard, Bergeron. He's an upside guy because he's so young. Definitely get better. I like that. Dahlman at the center position. He's got upside and young as well. So they both got a couple young guys here, which can bode really well for them. Right guard, Chris Lindstrom, the number one right guard in the top 10 list. And it's not even close. I mean, between him and Zach Martin, um, he just has had a consistently great couple years right now, and he's been on a tear. Um, Pancaking guys, making the necessary blocks, athletically kind of making sure that they can have spaces for running games as well as enough time for the QB to throw. So Lindstrom has been a monster. And then our right tackle, Caleb McGarry, who was number 8 in the right tackle. He's not the flashiest and the best one, but he gets it done on a day-to-day basis. And having two solid tackles that are on the top 10 list. That is fantastic. Right guard who can teach the younger guys. It's a good offensive line. It's a sneaky good offensive line. And it's going to help them because they signed Kirk Cousins, honorable mention, on the QB list. Kirk Cousins, great regular season guy. We don't have to talk about postseason because we're not talking about postseason. We're talking about regular season. He's a great regular season quarterback. He's going to do what he's going to do. He's going to put up some great numbers. Does not turn over the ball that much at all. And throws touchdowns. And he's got great weapons around him. So I think he will do well. I think he will really do well because you got Drake London as a receiver. I think this is his breakout year. I think he's going to actually have a QB that can throw the ball. So I think Drake London will break out. Mooney, I want to get him back to form like he was in Chicago. I think he will. I think he'll be just fine. I enjoy Darnell Mooney. I'm excited for him. And then you got Ray McLeod, who just needs to step up. He's a slot guy. He's never really played many, a key role in the team. He's been kind of the kick returner. He's been kind of the fill for the receiver spot. He needs to come in, hopefully step up, revive his career as a receiver instead of just a utility man. And then the tight end, Kyle Pitts, he was an honorable mention. He's a guy that needs to get more touches. I feel like Kirk Cousins is going to use him a lot because Kyle Pitts, a lot of people are throwing in that he's a bust. I think he just hasn't had the right QB to really get him going. I think they will probably get him going soon, especially because of how highly touted he is known for being one of the best tight ends to be drafted in a long time, kind of thing. So I think Kyle Pitts, he might have a breakout year this year. And then Bijan Robinson, honorable mention, will be top 10 sooner rather than later. Um, just an all around great back, great at run blocks, great at receiving, elusive, got some power to him. I like everything about Bijan Robinson. He's going to be fantastic this year. And they're going to feed him the ball, man. They're going to feed him the ball. At the defensive side of the football, they have a 3-4 base. DN, Grady Jarrett, honorable mention for his position on my list. Grady Jarrett still does it at a high level, still is a veteran, leadership, has experience. He's gone to the Super Bowl. So he knows what it takes to get to where you need to go. And Grady Jarrett great leadership. I think they're really going to need this because you're looking at another leader that hasn't done as much accomplishments, but Onyemata, D tackle, is a veteran leadership. And those two guys are going to help Harrison, the other D end, break out. I think he's going to break out this year. He's young. I think he's going to be able to play a full year, and he's gonna have the sack total. It's gonna climb up. He's gonna do a lot more things than a lot of people expect him to do, and I'm excited to see this young guy develop into something that I could see on my list. Um, with the linebackers, they got Matthew Judon, who they signed. I think that's great signing. He is a pass rusher's dream. Like he is gold, man. Like you want to sack the QB, you want to be able to control that and know, hey, I got a guy, Judon, right now. I know he had a down year, but it was injuries from last year and didn't play that much. He can get you 15 sacks. That's fantastic. That's exactly what Atlanta needs to decrease the amount of points. Excuse me, the amount of points the other team has scored. So that's a great signing. Um, the two inside linebackers, you got Ellis, who's got upside. Definitely seeing his stats. It's not bad. He just needs to keep it going. I think he definitely is a sneaky good player. And then Anderson hasn't really played much. He's a question mark. We'll see what happens with him. As well as the other outside linebacker, Ebikidi. He's also a question mark because he just hasn't played that much. So I don't know too much about him. I am wondering to see what those two guys do. Hopefully, they're ready to step up. They're ready to play. They're ready to win some games. Um, at the secondary, I think this is the strong suit. This is one of the best units in the NFL with it. AJ Terrell, honorable mention, no question about it. He's a great lockdown kind of guy. Definitely plays pretty good in zone. Plays pretty good in man. Like they definitely need him. He should be a top 10 member. Soon. I don't know how soon, but he has high hopes. Mike Hughes needs to step up. He's going into a role that is him starting. Like it's time for him to start doing something here, and he has in his career. But it's time for him to be a starting corner. Um, Alford, we will see with him. He's a nickel back. We'll see how he does. Again, not many stats here. Not too many things to go by, but we'll see how it goes with him. The safeties are insane. Jesse Bates at number two as a free safety. He does everything so well, and he is a huge part of this defense, a captain of it. Definitely Atlanta made a huge splash signing when they signed him last year. And signing Justin Simmons. First of all, I don't know how he was still out there for months. I don't know why no one took a chance with him. He's number five on the list for the free safeties, moving to strong safety. But it doesn't even matter. He's got the recognitions. Like he is all over the football field. He makes big plays. Okay, he's not scared to tackle. Just he does a little bit of everything, and no one picked him up for months until almost the season came. I think that's weird. I think they really messed up there, and I think the teams that didn't pick him up, they will regret that. Um, so yeah, closing it out, you got Young Ho Koo, who's the kicker. He was number six on the kicker list. They got a good punter and Pinion and upside for Williams because of his ability to return and the fact that he has experience returning kicks. So overall, this is the team not looking too shabby. Um, so I am excited for this franchise to see what they do this year. So let's take a look at the Falcons schedule. So they got a decently good schedule. Got some good games. I think they got an easier schedule than most. Um, not as much playoff affiliated teams, and I think that this is a good chance for them to really showcase their talent. Um, and they're giving them kind of the wiggle room for them to actually just be like, go win some games. We want to see some Atlanta football, especially come January. I want to see some Atlanta football come January. I'm not an Atlanta Falcons fan, but honestly, seeing playoff games and them actually being successful, it's nice from a team that doesn't have a Super Bowl, right? But you look at the Falcons, they're gonna beat Pittsburgh week one. They're gonna do that. They're gonna beat Philadelphia. I think they'll start out hot, play the Chiefs. They'll lose to the Chiefs. It's the Chiefs. Um, Against the Saints and the Bucks, they'll win those two games. Then they'll beat the Panthers. Then they'll beat the Seahawks actually, and surprise a lot of people at having this record. So after that, they'll lose to Tampa, they'll lose to Dallas, and they'll lose to New Orleans, only for them to go to Denver and beat Denver with the bye there. After that, they're going to play LA. The Chargers will win, but they will beat Minnesota. They'll lose to Las Vegas. They'll beat the Giants, and they'll go to Washington and beat the Commanders. And they'll close it out with losing with the Panthers, just because this is an NFC South team division in general. They always get one on each other, so I'm gonna say that that's the best bet there. Still, record is 10-7, so that is a playoff worthy record. So watch out for this. Watch out for the Atlanta Falcons. They look like a really good team, and they're only going to get better with time. Some question marks. We'll see how that goes. But I really do feel super confident about how this team's going to go. Definitely come this season.